Hello creative friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be using the Ellie Studio January 2026 kit and add-ons. For this page, I am making a double spread 6x8 page, and it is going to be the opening spread for my All About Me album. I really wanted to use all of the new year, new date type sentiments in the kit. For me, if I put these like 2026 sentiment type items in my stash, I forget that I have them and I don't use them. So for this project, I thought it'd be perfect just to use them right away, and they end up making this great page for my All About Me album. So just a little bit of background, I do have an ongoing All About Me album. I've been doing it since, I want to say, approximately 2017, and these are just stories, kind of like the title, all about me, whether it's things that I'm currently doing, things that I like, things that are more, a little bit more journal like, rather than something I want to put in my family album. Now, I have multiple volumes of this, so I'm working on, about to start my 5th album. Although this particular starting page that has the 2026 isn't going to necessarily be the opening spread of an album. What I'm going to do is just put it after all of my 2025 pages, and this is just going to be kind of the start of my 2026 pages. I don't necessarily try to fill a whole album each year. I just have them ongoing, and when an album fills up, I just start a new one. So what I'm doing here is Ellie Studio had this awesome new stamp set, has the months and the days of the week, and I absolutely love it. It's big, it's bold, it's dynamic. When I first saw it, I was like, I have to use this. And so I was trying to brainstorm ways that I could use it. And there's so many different ways. Titles of cards, like journaling cards, titles for your spread. Now this particular January, I took a selfie of myself, which I showed earlier in this video. I'm wearing a kind of a purple, right there, a purple, purple coat, kind of a pinkish purple coat. And the most recent paper stack that we have from Ellie Studio has more of like Christmas colors, red and green. And so that wasn't going to match my color palette. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if I used this bold stamp set and made my own pattern paper? I am using a VersaFine black ink. It's my favorite black ink. And I'm just stamping it on white paper to give a black and white color palette. I thought this would look great against my bright purple coat. And for the most part, this entire spread is going to be black and white with just a little bit of pops of purple color. And I love how the color palette comes out at the end. It's just very dynamic, and the purple just really stands out because it's just pops of the purple on the black and white. So for this background paper that I'm making, I am using the days of the week, and I'm not using the months for this particular spread. And I am alternating, or I shouldn't say alternating, but I am using, I'm stamping out like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the consecutive days of the week. Now, you're not actually going to see all the words spelled out. And so there are some times where I could have taken some liberties or cheated a little bit, because for example here you see just the twos, but you don't really see the day. And then when I do the next stamp of the Wednesday, you just see part of the word, you don't see the whole thing. But I knew that when you see parts of the letter, your brain kind of reads the full word, and so I really did want to stamp these out in the consecutive days of the week, because I think our brain just sort of fills in the spots that we don't see and reads it the way we expect to read it. So it took a little bit of time to alternate the stamping, to clean the stamps, reapply the ink to the next one, and so on. But I really love how it came out at the end, so I think it was worth the time. So at the top of this, you can see that my stamping is very spaced out well. And through the whole page, I do a pretty good job of keeping everything spaced and on line. I thought actually I was doing even a little bit better than I was. Um, you saw a little bit earlier, I had used a pencil mark to mark out my 4x6 photo, so I didn't have to waste time stamping in the center of the page where I knew it was going to be covered up. And then even though I have some pencil lines on the paper, I knew that I was going to map my photo with one or two different cardstocks, and so I knew it was going to be covered up. So back to the stamping in the lines. Right about here, I start noticing, oh, my line is a little bit off. You can see how that Tuesday and that Wednesday don't quite line up. And so my next word is Thursday, and I'm like, okay, do I fill in that little hole, or do I try to go across the whole way and make my line, make like a new line? And I said, okay, I don't want to do that. It's going to be too obvious. So I went to a word that had less letters. So Friday has less letters. And I start just trying to fill in my holes and try to get things lined up again. And although it's not perfect, in the final product, you don't notice. And I think it looks great, and I'm very happy with the outcome. So that's just a little tip. I did the best I could to keep everything lined up, but because it was on the diagonal, it wasn't exactly perfect near the end. Now, having said that, way at the back of the video, I didn't mention, I did do a sample testing of going straight across in a horizontal fashion or doing the diagonal. And I actually did find that doing the diagonal keeps things a little bit more lined up, or at least when you get off on being lined up, it's less noticeable to the eye than if you go straight across horizontal. Somehow our eye seems to notice the imperfections that way better. So that would be my suggestion. I think the diagonal looks really dynamic, and I also think it hides some imperfections as well. So here I'm wanting my photo to pop off that black and white page a little bit better. And so first I kind of test mat it on a white cardstock, and then I found some purple in my stash. It matches the purple in the kit and in my coat, and I think it is great just to offer a little pop of color to this spread. I also pulled out all the sentiments that apply to the new year. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I want to use these up and make sure that they're in my album and I don't forget about them. So that banner that says first photo in 2026 was perfect. I had to use that. I took a selfie of myself, obviously, and using that was a great decoration for this photo. At the top over on the right, you see the 2026 tag, and then you also see the New Year, New Stories, New Adventures tag. Those, again, were perfect, and they were sort of a jumping off and the kind of the initial motivator for this project. So obviously I wanted to use those. I love that heart tag at the bottom. It's got that perfect purple color to match my selfie. And then it also just adds some color to this spread, which I love the black and white, but you do need a little bit of color just to make it interesting and visually appealing. So I'm pulling out some of the purple hearts on the Sweetheart sticker set, and I am going to use some foam dots to pop up the heart sticker, and then I use that banner also from the kit that says Hello New Year to decorate my tag. So I love that. Now down at the bottom, I wanted to do a little bit of decoration on this heart tag. As you notice, there's that white banner at the bottom. So I pulled out one of the labels that had the purple edging, and I'm looking for a stamp that will fit in the right size that I need for this tag. I am wanting to put a embellishment of some heart. I'm trying my purple inks. Can't quite see it in the video very well, but it's different colors of purple inks. And what I'm noticing is it's just not the right shade. So I end up going with a black heart and then this everyday life sentiment. That came off of the complimentary free stamp set that subscribers got this month. So I thought it was perfect because basically I want to document my everyday life in this All About Me album. I thought it was a great decoration to kind of fill in that space at the bottom of the card. I really try to use this Fresh Start banner. I really wanted to use it, and I tried to put it in different places. I end up not using it and pulling it off, and that's totally fine. I'll maybe use that later somewhere else. So I'm finishing up my embellishing. I wanted to use some of the purple hearts, but I needed them to be a little bit larger. So my clusters looked a little bit more interesting. So I end up layering a black and a purple heart together. And then I also use more pop dots so I can get some height and some interest to the spread. Here I am cutting up one of the tags that has the labels on it. I thought I wanted some color up on that black and white tag that says New Year. And it ends up just not working, and that's fine. I auditioned it out and ended up not liking it. I thought about putting some stamps on it, but ultimately I just leave that tag alone. And then off screen, I typed out a little note to self. I liked that title of that tag at the bottom, and it is just sort of what I'm hoping for in 2026. I had some ups and downs in 2024 and 25, and so I'm really hoping for a kind of a fresh start and some positive mojo in 2026. I'm finishing off the spread by using a Ellie Studio date stamp at the bottom, and I just put January 1st to kind of symbolize the new year, even though I believe I did this journaling in December because I had to have it ready for the design team requirements, and that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be exact. I do finish off putting a few more hearts. Having just that white card seemed a little stark, and now I have a visual triangle of purple hearts on my spread, and I absolutely love how this came out. Please leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.